Hello, and welcome to History Alive, where we journey back in time to remember important times in our country's history. Today we're going back to find out how they made the three branches of our government: executive, judicial, and legislative. Let's go! Sir, can I have you answer a few quick questions?
Well, sure, why not?
What is this all about?
Well, it's been for a while. They're discussing Supreme Court powers. It's the last on the list. We already had most of the legislative branch because it was all we had under the articles. And we finished discussing the executive branch.
Oh, and what kind of executive branch are you looking for?
Well, we took into consideration how much trouble we had with the executive branch back in England. So I wanted an executive branch with enough power to take care of the responsibilities, but not strong enough to overwhelm the other branches or endanger the rights of the people.
So what powers did you decide to give the branch?
We decided the job would be best performed by a single person, who we called the President. But even though we gave them a lot of power, they share it with the Senate and the Congress.
For example, the President can nominate people for important jobs within the branches, and he can make treaties with foreign nations. But the Senate has the power to accept or reject these decisions.
Also, the President can conduct war, but Congress can declare it.
The President can veto laws passed by Congress, but Congress can overrule the veto by two-thirds vote of both houses.
That was my idea.
So even with all these precautions, is there a chance the President could get out of hand?
Hopefully that won't happen, but if it does, we gave the House of Representatives the power to impeach the President. They will be put on trial in front of the Supreme Court, and if they are found guilty, they are removed from office.
Wonderful. And who are you guys considering for President?
The obvious choice is George Washington. We're still working on it, but he is a definite candidate.
He's loyal, honest, patriotic, devoted to people, and not interested in abusing power to his advantage. We saw all this when he served for us in the Revolutionary War.
Now, how will you choose preceding presidents once George Washington is done serving?
Well, at first we were going to have Congress choose him, but there were weaknesses in that plan, so we decided to set up a system called the Electoral College.
How does this college work?
Well, we gave some freedom to the states on this one. Each state creates its own system for choosing electors. Each state can only have as many electors as it has senators and representatives in Congress. Once all the electors are chosen, you vote on which you want for the president. The one with the most votes will become president.
Oh, and how long would a president serve?
A president would serve for one term at a time, but they can be re-elected any number of times. A term would last 4 years, so every 4 years we would have the Electoral College to elect a new one.
Wow, sounds like you guys have it all figured out.
Yes, we are very educated women and men, you know.
Now, you mentioned three branches. We've already discussed the executive branch, and the legislative branch has already been set up. So what's the third one?
We're thinking of calling it the judicial branch.
Ah, and who would be involved in this branch?
Well, major role would belong to the Supreme Court. There would also be lower courts consisting of judges. Judges have to be appointed, but as long as they perform good behavior, they can keep their jobs for life.
If they didn't perform good behavior, what would happen?
They would be tried for bad behavior. Things like bribery, treason, or other high crimes or misdemeanors would get them convicted.
So where does the Supreme Court come in?
Well, all these judiciaries weren't big enough to handle situations or disputes between state government or other big national issues. So these cases would be tried in front of the Supreme Court.
Yes, we gave the Supreme Court original jurisdiction. This way, those big cases go directly to them, and are not tried in lower courts first.
They also get appellate jurisdiction with it. They can choose to hear any case that has already been tried in lower courts.
When you walked in, we were discussing whether or not to give the Supreme Court the power to overrule state laws that violated the Constitution or other federal laws. I say yes.
Yes!
All opposed say nay.
Nay.
You have the floor.
Well, looks like a good time for us to get back to our time machine and back home to 2008. This has been Michaela Warren for History Alive. See you next time.